Good evening and welcome to the Lagos studios of ITV. I am Adegboyega Labiro, thanking you for finding time to join us. Another three-story building has again collapsed on Lagos Island, the same area where a three-story building collapsed 3 weeks ago. The building, which was already marked for demolition by the state authorities, caved in the early hours of today, but eyewitnesses claim that all occupants have left for the day's business before the incident. Meanwhile, in its response to the fresh building collapse today, the Lagos State government urged occupants of marked distressed buildings across the state to immediately vacate them pending the arrival of the demolition team of the Lagos State Building Control Agency. The government, speaking through the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Rotimi Ogunleye, made the appeal just as a distressed three-story building located on 50 Kakawa Street, Campus Lagos Island, caved in on Monday. The government claims there is no casualty to the fresh incident, but says it has opened relief and settlement centers in the state to accommodate occupants of buildings marked for the demolition. Ogunleye said the building in question had been identified as distressed by the officers of LASPCA and all the necessary statutory notices had been duly served. He also added that the occupants had been evacuated before the incident occurred. And now to Kwara State, where wounds allegedly sustained by 4 suspects of offer robbery due to alleged torture and gunshots from the police are to be medically examined. Justice Halima Salman of an Ilorin High Court ordered the investigation while granting one of the 2 applicants of the Defense Counsel. The judge said the ruling was informed by the need for fair hearing, transparency and justice. On the other application for the post-mortem examination on the corpse of the late Michael Adiuku, the judge dismissed it as baseless and pointless, wondering if the same ruling could be given in respect of the 5 Fulani men allegedly killed in their presence. She therefore adjourned the case till the 8th of next month, while the defense counsel spoke on the position on the court on the application.
Well, I'm happy at least one of the 2 applications were granted. Whichever one that is given, it still helps my case. You know, whether it was the one that was refused that was granted and this one was refused, or the one that is granted and the other one is refused, both of them still aid my case. So I'm happy. Well, you know, in a trial like this, you won't know the effect mostly until it goes deep. So at every stage, you are trying to look at what A will have on your, you know, on B, or what B will have on C, as it were. But like I said, at this moment, the court has graciously, because all is in the interest of justice, so to speak.
Reactions to INEC's election rerun from the rerun elections held in Kano, Bauchi, Sokoto, Benue, Plateau. The opposition party, People's Democratic Party, has won Benue, Sokoto and Bauchi states, while Kano and Plateau states went to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Reacting to issues emerging from the elections in the 5 states and the suspended election in Rivers, a political analyst, Shino Loremikon, said that the election was more of the overrun than a rerun in most of the states, adding that governance has not really been by the people and for the people, but it by a particular set of people and for just a group of people.
All the advantages we have all labored for is being washed away. Look at the card reader. The impression they gave us is that if the card reader does not okay you, you cannot vote. But on feed, card reader working or not working, anybody goes on. And we know situation where only one person voted more than 5 times. We saw situation where people that are not of age, I mean 18 years, actively participate.
Loremikon stressed the need for a review of election process across the states on account of the observations of civil rights activists.
What you see is that the incumbent political party in any of those states is overrunning their opponents. In the case of Kano, the incumbent government is an APC government. They have overrun their opponents there. In the case of Sokoto, the ruling party is PDP. They also overrun their opponents. And it's a sad development. We are supposed to be a multi-party democracy.
The analyst added that the election was characterized by an alarming involvement of the military in the electioneering process, resulting in massive criticism of the exercise by local and international observers of the March 23rd rerun elections. The Conference of Islamic Organizations, CIO, an umbrella body for various Islamic organizations in Nigeria, has admonished all those who disagree with the results of the last general elections not to seek redress in the courts in the interest of peace. Addressing journalists on Monday at the Bagauda Katho Press Center in Alausa, Ikeja, a representative of the group, Sheikh Abdurrahman Adangwa, noted that it was important for the political elite to put the unity and peace of the nation and the masses first in all their dealings.
We appeal to Nigerians to shut all acts and speech that can divide us along tribal and religious lines. We should all continuously promote unity, tolerance, and religious harmony.
He specifically urged those who were victorious to see the victory as yet another opportunity to consolidate their efforts in the fight against corruption.
It's another trial for them from Allah. And in the hereafter of their stewardship. Nigerians have put a lot of responsibilities on them and made the winners. They cannot afford to fail or make people regret voting their parties. They must work tirelessly as a team to deliver and make sure people enjoy the effects of governance, good governance and the dividends of democracy. Also, they must reciprocate the gesture with more life-touching projects.
And now to the business news. As President Muhammadu Buhari receives another 4-year mandate for a second term in office, financial analysts have suggested the way forward for the Nigerian economy, especially in the area of promoting ease of doing business. IATV News had a chat with our financial analyst who advised that government should institute a monitoring system that will ensure compliance with what it originally sets out to achieve.
When government make ease of doing business easy, they should also try as much as possible to know who they employ to work on their ease of doing business. Not people who will turn, the intentions of government to suit themselves.
She noted that taxpayers invest a lot of money in training public servants, and hence their services will still be relevant to promote ease of doing business even when they are no longer in active service.
Government must have a system of monitoring. We have a lot of retired civil servants that have integrity that can help. They will even be too glad to do it on voluntary basis. They will be too glad to do it on voluntary basis, even if just giving them stipend for allowance to go from one place to the other to check on what is going on. But it's only in this country when somebody is retired, government will make sure that it dumps those people inside the grave. Instead of, we taxpayers spend a lot of money to train government personnel.
Ease of doing business is an index created by the World Bank, where higher rankings indicate better, usually simpler regulations for businesses and stronger protections of property rights. Nigeria is ranked 146 among 190 economies in the ease of doing business, according to the latest World Bank annual ratings. The rank of Nigeria deteriorated to 146 in 2018 from 145 in 2017. Ease of doing business in Nigeria averaged 145.09 from 2008 until 2018, reaching an all-time high of 170 in 2014 and a record low of 120 in 2008. And now to some stories relating to power. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has announced that the power sector achieved a new daily grid energy peak of 110,724.93 megawatts. According to the Public Affairs Department, the new maximum daily energy is an improvement on the previous maximum daily grid energy peak of 109,372.01 megawatts attained on the 2nd of February 2016, and the maximum daily grid energy of 110,724.93 megawatts is different from the peak grid generation of 5,375.0 megawatts attained on February 7, 2009. Public Affairs Department added that the new maximum daily energy and the peak power generation show that TCN now has enhanced capacity and capability to wheel and transmit more power over time into the grid, provided the distribution companies are ready to serve the load to electricity consumers. And now to some monetary issues. The monetary policy is expected to retain the monetary policy rate and other benchmark rates at the end of its 266th meeting in spite of the 2-month consecutive decline in inflation rate, improved stability of the exchange rate, and declined interest rate on fixed income instruments. At its last meeting in January, the MPC retained the MPR at 14% for the 15th time since July of 2016. The committee also retained the asymmetric corridor of plus 200 / minus 500 basis points around the MPR, the cash reserve ratio at 22.5%, and the liquidity ratio at 30%. The decision of the MPC is usually hinged on the need to checkmate the inflation rate and enhance exchange rate stability, which have recorded modest improvement in the last 2 months. And now to the stock market report. On the instructions of investors, stockbrokers traded in a total of 169 million ordinary shares valued at 3.8 billion naira. At the end of trading, on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, GT Bank led the activity chart with 46.9 million ordinary shares valued at 1.76 billion naira. Zenith Bank came second on the activity chart with 28.6 million ordinary shares valued at 628 million naira. Stanbic IBTC topped the Guinness chart with 3 naira to close trading at 48 naira 50 kobo. Resta Express PLC came second with a 50 kobo gain to close at 5 naira 50 kobo. On the other hand, Mobile led the pack of losers with a drop of 3 naira to close trading at 167 naira. Nestle Nigeria PLC dropped 2 naira to close dealings at 1,498 naira. All share index closed today's trading. All share index closed today's trading at 31,042.32 points, a 0.11% decline when compared with Friday, March 22nd's dealings, all in a total of 3,048 transactions, while market capitalization came to a close at 11.58 trillion naira. And with that, we come to the end of the business news, and handing over back to Ibadan for the rest of our bulletin. I am Adegboyega Labiron, thanking you for staying with us. Good evening.